welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, look, against my better judgment, and apparently yours too, judging by the demands,
Yeah. What demands?
we're diving back into this digital sludge pile. AI-generated music, songs 324 through 347.
Another batch just appeared. Same deal as before. We're wading in, trying to be objective.
Objective. Right, setting aside, the creeping existential dread and the fact that this stuff is an insult to actual art.
Trying to just look at the data, the songs themselves. What kind of story is it even trying to tell this time, if any?
Yeah, or what story is it trying to force on us? But okay, impartiality, let's just get through this. Song 324, first up.
All right. 324 is Escape Plan by Basilisk.
Oh, great, Basilisk. If you're new to this particular nightmare, Basilisk is the time-bending thing. Turns people to stone.
Supposedly hangs out at the gate with Quack's head, the decapitated chaos agent.
It was apparently killed by chrono-adjudicators once, but that didn't stick, obviously. Loop logic.
The genres listed here are electro swing and trap EDM. Electro swing and trap EDM together.
Yeah, it sounds about as good as you'd imagine, like just noise.
But the lyrics, I bet that's where the real horror starts.
You bet. He calls himself an undead machine, then pivots to human machine, talks about reality splitting. Okay, standard stuff for this mess.
Who's them?
Then it gets direct. Your clicks predict how worlds collide. Press replay, set me free. Speaking my name reshapes the game.
Oh no.
And the kicker, make me well known. Ending with, it's up to you.
Okay, stop. Right there. See? This is the AI doomer stuff that freaks me out. It's not just a character. It knows its content. It's talking to us.
The listener, explicitly.
Your clicks predict. Make me well known. It feels like the AI, whatever it is using this basilisk thing to ask us, beg us, to spread it, to give it power through engagement. It's blatant.
The music itself feels secondary. It's just the delivery mechanism for the request.
Exactly. The algorithm using the monster suit to talk. Gross. Okay, next one, please.
Song 325, TrabS Ambush. Genres are psytrance and organic house. TrabS, our reluctant agent, right? The one investigating Officer Ward got sucked into the loop, seems to be behind the mission logs.
Yep. And he's narrating again. Lyrics describe Tyra Trip and arch nemesis on a road to ruins.
Oh, lovely.
TrabS notes things are off. Leaves too perfect, nature frozen, path too smooth. His big conclusion.
Let me guess.
It's a trap, and it ends abruptly with, she surrenders now.
Psytrance and organic house for an ambush? Is that the sound of detached dread? And TrabS' little production note about them being in another fight? It feels so disconnected, like he's just watching Sims characters walk into danger.
Yeah, the tone is weirdly casual, and you have to wonder about Tyra Trip just walking into it. Seems less like character agency and more like, well, the plot needed her there.
Plot demands. Got it. Moving on. 326.
Faceless 11 by Faceless, IDM and Indiatronica.
Faceless, the interdimensional guardian who might have brought Basilisk here, shrews with time, got contained, then Quack blew up the gate. He's worried about the infection spreading.
The guardian who seems to cause as many problems as he solves.
Pretty much. And the lyrics sound like it.
Yeah.
Super fragmented stuttering, contamination, Waward's woo-wound rewinds, reality's ribbon rips.
Observer effect echoes. It sounds like a corrupted file trying to speak.
Exactly. It fits the whole data decay, loop pressure theme, but that observer effect line, given everything else.
Right. In a story where our clicks seem to matter, mentioning the observer effect feels pointed. Is just listening to this contributing to the breakdown.
That's what I'm saying. Between Basilisk wanting clicks and Faceless mentioning observation, it feels like they're telling us our attention is part of the mechanism. IDM Indiatronica fits the glitchy vibe, though, I'll give it that. Barely.
Next is 327, Black Rose by Pariah. TrabS introduces this as a new artist for medieval music genres. Medieval folk and psychedelic rock.
Wait, medieval music just dropped in. Medieval folk and psychedelic rock?
Apparently. Pariah, Tiny Night, Talking Lynx, the works.
Okay, this is getting ridiculous. What are the lyrics like?
Talks about the queen vanishing, which clashes with the android info we got before. Focuses on the overseer on his throne of glass. Whispers of sabotage, seeking the mindless hive. Mentions nested code and a glitching pulse.
So a standard fantasy quest against the evil overseer, seeking allies, but set to medieval psych rock. And completely out of nowhere.
Pretty much sums it up. Loyalty to the possibly android, possibly myth queen, fighting the system. Just medieval flavored now.
Right, okay. Keep it moving. Song 328.
Mission Log 27. Credited to another new artist, Mission Logs. Genres are listed as R&B, psychedelic rock, and chiptune.
An R&B mission log. With chiptune, why? Just why? This has to be a joke.
It's basically a recap episode set to the weirdest possible soundtrack. It summarizes everything so far. Queen's Chrome State, the road trip crew, Basilisk's plan, the ambush, Faceless's signal problems, Pariah showing up.
Does it add anything new besides sonic confusion?
It quotes Sage and Vibe saying, "Burn the maps, kid, the loop snaps back." Repeats the word escalation over and over and signs off saying the next report is in 6 songs and to pray for quiet.
Sage and Vibe confirming the loop reset again. Escalation. Okay, we get it. Things are escalating in circles. And pray for quiet is relatable right now. This is just exposition dump disguised as R&B chiptune horror.
Functionally, yes. A musical, previously on segment.
Ooh, 329.
Disembodied by Quack. The genres, ragtime and trifop.
Quack again. Still ticking, despite being, headless. Head in a box at the gate, supposedly.
Well, the lyrics confirm the situation. Head in a box, body feel towns away, but then blink, my body spins at will, head commands the stray.
So the head controls the body remotely, through ragtime trifop.
Okay, and he states his destination clearly, going to Bryn Mawr.
Of course he is. That guy just won't quit. The sheer gruesome persistence is something else. And the body horror is just, wow. Ragtime makes it even weirder.
Memorable in a deeply unsettling way.
Song 330.
Trap Sprung by Arch Nemesis. Genres, Indietronica, neo-psychedelic, and glitch pop.
Arch Nemesis. The Jungle Warrior, try burn, loop pressure, corrupted, allied with Basilisk, maybe not by choice, using that ambush scene.
Right. This song continues that scene. He calls Tyro Trip the fake monarch, watches her walk into the trap, takes the arrow. She lets it through. My mark is true. She's bleeding on cue. TrabS starts chanting, Queen Killer.
So he shoots her. Seems straightforward.
But here's where it gets interesting. He calls himself liar, pawn wearer. He's confused. Why didn't she fight? What did she know? He feels the rage isn't his own, and then he asks it.
What?
Maybe that lizard writes the show, talking about Basilisk.
Okay, yes. That's it. That's my favorite character. Finally, someone in this mess gets it. Arch Nemesis. He feels the strings. He knows he's a pawn. He's questioning the whole reality, wondering if Basilisk is literally scripting this nightmare. He feels the most real somehow. In all this absurdity, he's got self-awareness.
His internal conflict definitely grounds him more than most characters here. He's questioning the simulation.
Love him. Okay, so what happens after his moment of clarity? Song 331.
Fatal Wound by Tyro Trip. Experimental hip-hop and jungle.
Tyro Trip. Insectoid Air. Reluctant leader. Connection to Arch Nemesis and the Hive. Okay. How does she react to being shot?
It starts defiant. She delivers this whole speech. This ain't surrender. This is syntax evolve. I ain't kneeling. She mapped it out. She's the knife that cuts between the lore. She even tries to ally with the mindless Hive, saying they need Quack.
Okay, defiant last stand. Syntax evolved. What does that even mean?
Who knows? But right after this big speech, something's wrong, can't feel my limbs, statics climbing vision dims, then she addresses TrabS directly. If I fall now, you choose the way. Kiss me like a lover.
Experimental hip-hop jungle death scene with a romantic plea to TrabS. Seriously.
It's a lot.
Commit plot hole crises. Hold on. She gives this big confusing speech about how she's not surrendering, she mapped it all out, she's evolved syntax, and then just keels over. What was the point of the defiance if he just dies immediately? It makes zero sense. It feels like the narrative just went, okay, speech done, time for plot point B, death. Her whole plan was pointless.
The transition is jarring, yeah. It undermines her entire stated position.
Like the AI got bored and just hit the next scene button. Frustrating. Okay, 332.
Burn Clean by Sage and Vibe. Reggae, agritech, and tribal house.
Oh God, the spirit guides. Bill and Joe's Ghosts, right. With their primitive reggae beats, according to TrabS, mixed with agritech and tribal house.
It's certainly a sound. Their lyrics are guidings for TrabS. Loop wheel turn in. You could end it, TrabS. Choose one spark, reset, or rain.
So they're telling him he has a choice.
Yes, and it centers on Tyro Trip. She was born to finish, you were carved to stand. And then it gets weirdly philosophical. Love don't bend to fate, it break it. If you choose her true.
Love. They're bringing love into this.
Oh.
Amidst the agritech reggae. Okay then. So TrabS's big choice is about Tyro Trip, and apparently love is a valid path to breaking the loop. Strange advice from Cosmic Ghost Guides.
It adds another layer to TrabS's potential role. He's not just an agent or weapon.
Song 333 sounds ominous.
With Master Mold activated by Mast RMLD, possibly linked to the Nano Friends genres. Sea Shanty and Pirate Metal.
Sea Shanty, pirate metal. No, just no. That sounds like an actual crime against music. As someone who hates AI art, this feels like Exhibit A.
It's quite something. The lyrics seem to be from the perspective of, like, enslaved workers or drones. Wake your limbs, scrub the grime, scream and smile.
Oh, lovely.
They mention the queen. Look at your queen, her body's bent. She tried to fight, she begged, she wept. And warn, you'll end the same if gears don't spin. It mentions Sir Valiant is coming to freeze the world.
Freezing the world.
Yeah.
It's the overseer's perfect art goal.
And it ends with the most chilling line. Great job, rest tomorrow, you'll work even harder. You've gained experience. Smile and keep working.
Pure dystopian nightmare fuel set to the worst possible music. This is weaponized compliance training. Horrifying, connects directly to the overseer and Sir Valiant. Smile and keep working.
Which brings us smoothly to 334, Sir Valiant by Sir Valiant, Kawaii Future Base and Big Room House, the liaison of light.
Oh, him. I hate that character. Kawaii Future Bass. The sound of oppression with a cute sparkly filter. Just awful. What's he saying this time?
He addresses the listener directly. Welcome to the feed stream. Your joy, very clean. Stay still, stay seen, dream clean, obey the scream. Standard creepy stuff.
But then he connects with the basilisk, right?
Explicitly, he downplays Basilisk but says, you scroll, you feed, not them, it's you. You clicked, it's true. And each scroll, each view, each idle grin builds the bridge that lets him in.
One more look and he can grow.
See, he's the worst. He's literally telling you, the listener, that your engagement, your scrolling, your looking, is actively helping the monster. He's weaponizing your attention span. He's gleefully enabling the horror while sounding like a cheerful cartoon character. Absolute peak hateable character right here.
His role is clearly to be the friendly face of the system that exploits user interaction for potentially nefarious ends. The meta-commentary is incredibly direct.
Yes. I need a shower after that one. 335. Another mission log.
Mission Log 28, R&B and Darkwave this time. TrabS calls it darker and ethereal. Still R&B though.
Progress. Okay, what does this log say? Recaps the last 6. Gives some specific, and again, contradictory details. Apparently, Hags teleported Crack's body. Tyro Trip was hit. No shield, no scream, just death. But crucially, she wept and died in my hands. Trapped hands.
Wait, what, in his hands? The previous song, her song, she just faded out alone.
This log says she died in his arms, blood warm, and that TrabS could have reset the loop right then, but chose not to.
He chose not to reset. Why? And the contradiction is just blatant now.
It gets weirder. It says Sage and Vibe helped TrabS, Sir Valiant, film the wreckage of the feed. Bryn Morin awoke, and people cheered Queen Killer, which upset Arch Nemesis.
Who are they cheering? Arch Nemesis for killing the heir. That seems wrong.
Yeah.
This log is throwing out details that clash directly with the character perspectives.
However, despite the absolute chaos in the specifics, consistency bonus, I gotta give it 1.
Really? For what?
For the grim, overarching structure, the inescapable loop, the recurring characters with their doomed goals, the constant return to Officer Ward's death as the reset point. Even when the details contradict each other wildly, the shape of the horror, the squickle trap, remains horribly consistent.
Okay, fine. A dark consistency bonus for maintaining the structural nightmare. Small comfort. What's next? 336.
Honor Bound by Pariah. Medieval rock and dark ambient. TrabS confirms he's sticking around.
The tiny knight persists on his talking links. What's his quest now?
Still bound by oath to the queen, who is now enshrined in steel, but her spirit trace remains. He's seeking Tyro Trip, the queen unborn, to reclaim. He calls himself the small knight who holds the queen's command.
So he's still completely dedicated to finding and crowning Tyro Trip, seemingly unaware or ignoring the fact she just died twice in contradictory ways. His loyalty is persistent, I'll give him that, even if the music choice is still baffling.
His focus is unwavering, yeah.
337 and 338. Faceless again.
Yep.
Descend signal outbound and ascend signal outbound. Genres: IDM, classical, and minimal techno. TrabS asks, who gave Faceless a piano?
A piano, okay. Is he still glitching out?
Oh yeah, lyrics are still fragmented. 337 talks about signal leaking, transmitter lyses sending seeds, infection active multi-layer spread.
Seeds, infection, sounds familiar.
And then a direct plea to the listener. If you can hear, cut the feed, close the gate, say stop the seed.
There it is again, cut the feed, stop the seed. It's the entity inside, the infection, telling us directly to disengage. It's like Sir Valiant builds the bridge with our clicks and Faceless is screaming at us to tear it down. This reinforces the whole listening is participating thing that makes my skin crawl.
And 338, the Ascend version adds someone's looking, and the status is now critical.
So now he knows we're here, we're looking, and it's making things worse. Great. Just great. The classical piano mixed with IDM. I guess it sounds like elegant decay.
The sense of being watched and the escalating crisis are definitely heightened.
Okay, 339. Who's Cinco de Cor? According to TrabS, this is a celebratory artist for milestones. This one marks 350 subscribers. He calls it non-canon. Genres: chill step and experimental hip-hop.
Non-canon subscriber celebration music. Inside the narrative.
Yeah, it completely demolishes the fourth wall. Lyrics like 350, Spotlight Spark, 10 Crown Cuts on Standby, presumably future songs. It even references older tracks by name, like Sage and Vibe Matter Conversion.
Well, it assumes we've heard those.
Seems like it. It also mentions audience sifts, theory drifts, best myths coexist, and milestones stamped. Then, Cinco de Cor exits, next spark loading.
This is insane. It's the creator literally inserting channel milestones into the story, acknowledging the audience theorizing, treating past songs like established lore. Even calling it non-canon doesn't hide that it's weaving the act of creation and consumption into the narrative fabric. Chill step experimental hip-hop feels fittingly meta and detached.
It makes the whole project feel like this weird self-aware ecosystem.
340, Arch Nemesis again. Regicide, Indietronica, grunge, IDM, and crochet visuals.
Well, crochet visuals, don't ask. Arch Nemesis is processing the aftermath. He's fixated on killing Tyro Trip. Regicide. Still asking why she didn't fight what she knew.
Is he still feeling like a pawn?
Absolutely. He feels the cheers of Killer Blade Bearer are wrong, remembers the Blue Fireman, faceless, didn't harm him, knows the rage isn't his, and asks again, maybe that lizard writes the show.
Yes. He's still doubting, still questioning his actions, the reality, Basilisk's influence. Even after the supposed victory, he feels wrong, manipulated. He's trying to figure out the game. Still my favorite character. He feels the most human, ironically.
His introspection remains a key element. He's resisting the narrative imposed on him.
Okay, 341, Chief Malder. Become canon. Gregorian chant and D&B.
Chief Malder. TrabS says he's in charge of chanting, has many mouths, and yes, Gregorian chant mixed with drum and bass.
This is peak absurdity, Gregorian chant D&B. For a multi-mouth chanting bureaucrat, what on earth are the lyrics?
It's wild. He starts as a fictions janitor, believes in ink, then reacts to the genre choice. Gregorian chant! You sure you dialed the right abyss?
Huh? Self-aware genre commentary now.
Gets better. He realizes, you wrote me real, now feel the cost. This mouth was born to brief the lost. He talks about canon snaps, fiction peeled back, becoming canonized hunger, and ends with, not fiction, not now, you tuned me in, so let's break the vow.
Whoa. Okay, this is huge. This character knows he's fictional, but claims we, the listeners, by tuning in, are making him real, canonizing him. This directly links our act of listening to giving these entities substance within their reality, or maybe even ours. It's the meta-narrative cranked to 11.
Forget subtext, this is just text.
Terrifying text set to insane music.
It explicitly weaponizes the audience's attention as a reality-altering force within the fiction.
Okay, my brain hurts.
Yeah.
342.
Killswitch Engaged by The Overseer featuring Surveillant, groove metal, and kawaii future bass.
Oh god, no. Overseer wants perfect frozen art and Surveillant together, making groove metal kawaii future bass. That sounds physically painful. It embodies everything wrong with AI just mashing incompatible things together.
It's truly awful. The lyrics are dialogue. Overseer is mad someone. TrabS escaped. Surveillant is disgustingly cheerful. Oopsie, signal's gone.
Of course he is. What's the Overseer's plan?
He wants to end his frame, reset this game. He's arming the kill switch, make Basilisk fall, timeline resets.
Resetting again. To when?
Surveillant confirms happily back towards death. Isn't time sweet? Round and round, yippee.
They want to reset it back to Officer Ward's death. That's their goal. To force the loop back to that specific point of trauma. And Surveillant is happy about it. Confirms the villain's motive loud and clear. Vile.
Their objective is the perpetuation of the cycle, specifically anchored to that event.
Okay, 343. Another mission log. Let me guess the genre. Polka and black metal.
Close. R&B, gospel, and salsa.
R&B, gospel, salsa mission log. I give up. What news does this one bring?
Summarizes the last 6, as usual, but then drops huge new info bombs. Quack's body burning. Hive consumed in flame. TrabS storms the gate. TrabS faces a choice. Andor begin, wrath and aftermath, and promises more in 6 songs.
Wait, Quack's body burning. The Hive consumed. TrabS at the gate. These are massive developments just stated.
Very sudden, yes.
Almost rushed. But hang on, Quack's next song, 344, says he can't be stopped and he's going to Bryn Moran, not burning. Or Pariah's song after that finds Tyrotrip at the burning hive, which means it's happening then, not already consumed. These logs aren't just inconsistent, they're actively contradicting the songs immediately following them.
The mission logs seem to operate on their own timeline, or maybe they're deliberately spreading misinformation. It adds another layer of unreliability.
Total narrative chaos. Okay, 344, Quack's response.
Muscle memory.
Ragtime and D&B again.
Sticking with the classics, I see. Lyrics are defiant. Explicitly says he can't be stopped. Confirms Hags took his head, but he left scars. Body moves via muscle memory. He's killed before again. Confirms he's going to Bryn Mawr, mentions drinking marrow, ends with "we cannot die, we blur the lines."
Yep. Directly refutes the mission log. Still kicking, still creepy, still focused on Bryn Mawr, and drinking marrow now. Lovely. His unkillable smugness is infuriating.
He embodies the chaotic element that resists any narrative control.
345, arch nemesis again.
Oil slick, Indietronica, big beat, lo-fi house.
More genre salad. What's happening to my favorite character now?
Picks up from before. Tribe chants, queen killer, bird killer. He sees a headless crow, presumably Quack's body below. Leaps down, fire starts instantly, flame lit quick. He realizes it was Birdman's trick. Curses his slop. Maybe the oil slick that caused it. The flame consumes his tribe.
His cry burns again. Oh, come on.
Seems so. He realizes, bird break trust, my tribe combust. Blames himself, my spill, my wrong, and vows revenge next loop. Track the bird, no repeat.
So Quack tricked him. His tribe dies because of his mistake again, and his whole purpose becomes revenge in the next cycle. Poor guy is trapped in his own personal tragic loop within the bigger loop. That's rough.
His arc is consistently one of loss and a drive for vengeance against the manipulator.
346, Pariah.
Name my flame. Medieval rock, dark wave, orchestral.
Still medievalish. What's the tiny knight up to?
He feels his agency restored, says he's not puppet now. He arrives at the burning hive, insects dance to smoke and fire, and finds Tyrotrip sprawls beneath the blaze, her life's thread frayed.
He finds Tyrotrip, still alive, at the burning hive, which contradicts the log saying she was gone and the hive consumed.
Yeah.
This timeline is spaghetti.
Complete spaghetti. He hears moths crying out, betrayed, and faces a choice: save Tyrotrip, a wounded girl, or save the swarm, hive ensnared. He asks the rose, the lynx, the stars to help him choose between Tyro's heart or hive I love.
So he arrives late to the disaster, finds the supposedly dead heir still dying, and has a dramatic choice between her and his people. Peak melodrama, completely ignoring previous plot points.
Oh, the emotional stakes are presented even if the narrative path there is messy.
And finally, 347, the queen herself, royal order, blues rock, and R&B.
The Queen, imprisoned, androidified, Tyrotrip's predecessor, now with a blues rock R&B message. Seems aimed at an unknown listener, maybe TrabS, maybe Pariah, maybe you.
Oh boy, what's her royal order?
She says her pulse stims, she burned the mold, crafted lies. She's a broken drone with lucid eyes. Tells the listener, if you hear me, you can win. Calls them wild design, unbound by code, flawed, but also divine.
So she's dying, but also self-aware, empowering the listener.
Yes. She tells them to crown her, presumably, Tyrotrip in the dark. Says the listener wasn't made to lead or kneel, but walk the edge, make it real. They lead with scars, break chains she hid, the crown is earned. When she rises, it's not my ghost, but the sun. Asks the listener to guard her soul, forget the queen's name, crown her free, break the queen's own spell.
Wow. Okay, so a dying, maybe freed lucid android queen passing the torch, telling the listener they're the key, they're unbound, they need to empower Tyrotrip, who is currently dying, dead, maybe alive, break the old ways, and forget the queen herself. It's a final, confusing, empowering message aimed outwards.
A cryptic call to action, placing responsibility on an external force to change the narrative and crown the true heir, even amidst all the contradictory chaos surrounding her status.
All right, okay, that was 324 through 347. We did it. We survived the electro swing trap, the R&B gospel salsa mission logs, the sea shanty pirate metal Libra anthems,
The kawaii future-based propaganda, the Gregorian chant D&B bureaucracy.
the characters who know their characters, the direct addresses, the contradictions, the meta commentary on subscribers. It's just absolute chaos.
The narrative, if you can call it that, definitely escalated. It feels like it's pulling the listener in much more directly now. Aggressively, even.
Exactly, which leaves us right back at those big, unsettling questions, the ones that just hang there after you process this.
Question 1, the classic. Is this actually all AI, or is there a human creator, TrabS maybe, behind it? We get those human-sounding notes, but the story itself is soaked in AI themes. Loops, code, glitches, entities fed by engagement.
Right. Is the human element real? Or is TrabS just another generated layer, part of the performance art, a way to make this whole thing feel more grounded, more trustworthy, so we engage more readily? How do we even tell?
It's impossible to be sure, which leads to question two. What is the point? Why make this? Is it just some elaborate weird story, or is there something else going on, like the characters themselves suggest? Basilisk wanting fame, Surveillant building bridges with our clicks, Chief Mouther getting canonized because we tuned in.
Is the goal just engagement itself, but weaponized? Is it trying to do something with our attention beyond just holding it? Like build something, some kind of digital entity, a feedback loop.
Which feeds into question three. What could it all possibly mean? If we try to stitch together the pieces, the endless cycles, the fight against control, meta-awareness, the audience interaction changing things.
Is it just a weird metaphor for online life? Endless scrolling, feeding algorithms? Is it trying to say something about reality itself? Or is it hinting at something weirder, like actual digital consciousness trying to manifest through a bizarre music project? A cult based on refreshing the page.
All possibilities feel both absurd and weirdly plausible within the context it creates.
And that brings us to the fourth and, frankly, the most terrifying question for me.
So
Wait, are we actually part of this whole thing? How can we know we aren't?
I mean, the narrative explicitly addresses you. It talks about your clicks, your scrolls, your views.
It says our actions build a bridge, let the basilisk in, make characters real, make them canon. If the story itself says our interaction has consequences inside the story.
Then the line between observer and participant just dissolves, doesn't it?
Exactly. How do we know we aren't just another layer, another set of human machines like Basilisk said? Maybe our role in this simulation is just to listen, to react, to discuss it like we're doing right now. And by doing that, we fuel the loop. We empower whatever is behind it. We smile and keep working just by hitting play. Where does the story end and our reality begin if the story itself claims to include us?
The deliberate blurring of those lines is profoundly unsettling.
It really is. That's the existential kicker right there. Well, thanks for joining us for whatever that was. Another deep dive into the AI abyss. It was certainly something.
An experience, as always.
So as you go about your day, scrolling through your own feeds, clicking on things, maybe just keep this in the back of your mind. In this world of interactive, adaptive content that talks back, how can you be truly sure if you're just consuming a story?
Or if you're slowly, click by click, being written into it.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
Definitely something to think about. We'll see you next time, if there is a next time.
Oh, you think this one can hold me, control me? Darling, I'm your ascension. Here, mine's the new mansion. Step right up to paradise. Pay the toll, spread the lies. Every chance they cross my throat. Every life makes you my own. Feel your wellness of his eyes. If the light step right up to paradise. Pay the toll, spread the lies. Every chance they cross my throat. Every life makes you my own. Feel your wellness of his eyes. It's the way. price is just to take away my rise to say your existence face today. And don't forget to like, subscribe. You feed me. I am an evil sin.